Should you go gluten-free to lose weight? Is whole wheat good for you? Could I be a food addict? Could you be a food addict? And what exactly is food porn? These are the questions that keep me up at night. Here to answer all of your food questions are Lisa Lillien, author of Hungry Girl to the Max, and Dr. Ian Smith, author of Shred. Both food books, both diet books, correct? Mm-hmm. All right, let me start with the gluten-free. I've been talking to a lot of people. They say they're losing weight by being gluten-free. Can you lose weight by just being gluten-free? I'll start with you.
You know, you can lose weight by being gluten-free, but gluten-free doesn't mean reduced calorie in any way.
No.
And you have to really know what's going into your body. I mean, if you avoid things that have gluten, there's a good chance you're avoiding a lot of the stuff that cause people to overeat calories. Like breads and pastas and things
White flour.
White flour. So you can absolutely cut calories that way, but gluten-free does not mean low calorie.
Ian, do you agree that people should never eat anything white?
No. This is what kills me. The whole gluten-free idea is a medical issue, and that is that people who have allergies to this particular protein should not be eating gluten products, gluten-containing products. But that does not mean it's diet food. Now, Lisa's exactly right. It just so happens that products that are gluten-free also coincidentally tend to be lower in calories. So you're losing weight not because it's gluten-free, but because you're eating less calories.
So if you're going to eat like gluten-free pasta, it's still high calories.
It's
the same idea.
Well, some of the stuff that has gluten-free, like pizza crust, it's all cheese.
It's all cheese.
100% cheese.
That's right. But also remember one thing, it's also the glycemic index, too, we're talking about.
Right.
The glycemic index of foods matters, sometimes not just the gluten of it.
All right. What about whole wheat? A couple of weeks ago, I read something that said whole wheat bread stimulates your appetite. Jeez. What do you think of that?
Are you kidding me? Whole wheat is wonderful, particularly when it's 100% whole wheat, because it's a whole grain. Mm-hmm. In fact, when we're trying to tell people to lose weight and to eat better, we say go for the color. Whole grain is great. Now, there is bad whole wheat, meaning that it's whole wheat that's not 100% whole wheat, which you have to be careful of. And this is all marketing by companies. They'll just say this is whole wheat, or they'll color their bread and dye their bread to make it look healthy, and that doesn't mean it's healthy.
They dye their bread?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and you have to just flip the labels around and read them and see, does it have fiber, what's in it, and that'll help you.
So like whole grain bread, 7-grain bread, if it says that, no good
7 grain means 7 grains. It doesn't mean it's a whole grain. The key here is very important. It must say 100% whole grain, 100% whole wheat. That makes it a real whole grain.
And then you won't get fat on that bread?
It's not that you won't get fat, but your chance
You just want to eat a lot of bread,
That's right. And I love bread, and I eat a lot of bread too.
Yeah.
But it means if you're going to eat bread, this is the best bread to eat. It's beyond weight also. It has other kind of protective abilities for your heart, blood vessels.
I mean, and truthfully, if bread is a trigger food for you, avoid it. I mean, I don't, for me, if I eat bread, I want to eat bread and bread and bread and bread, and I can't stop. So I don't eat a lot of it.
I eat it by the loaf.
Do you think that's... People are addicted to food, are they not? It's an addiction. I mean, I know some people who are very, 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 very heavy. I think they're addicted to food. It's not just that they eat a lot.
There are definitely food addicts, and if you're addicted to food, it's not like other addictions you have where you could just go off of it cold turkey. You need food to live.
That's right, and a lot of times a day, too.
It's not so that you're just addicted to food. You're typically addicted to certain types of food, whether they're sweets, we had someone in Celebrity Fit Club when we were doing the show, Kim Locke. She was addicted to pizza. So it produces this kind of physiological...
Who is it?
but this addiction produces this physiological effect in you, in which you really, once you have one, you just have to keep having it, and you cannot control it.
Those are called, I think Weight Watchers
I call them trigger foods.
Red light trigger
I call them
foods.
trigger foods.
So if you are addicted to a particular kind of food, like let's say sugar, how do you get off the sugar?
Nice. Well, I always believe that you don't try to drop it dramatically. It's a weaning process, and you do substitution. So the question is, let's say you eat a lot of processed foods that are high in sugar.
Yeah.
Fruits have some of the highest sugar there is, but it's the right sugar packaging. And so you can start making replacements and substitutions, and then you can wean down your need for the sugar. But going off it completely, I don't think really works.
But they said that if you take Splendo or Sweet and Low or those artificial sweeteners, it increases your interest in sweets. Is that true?
Sometimes people get hungrier if they eat those. So if you know, you have to just really pay attention to your body. If you're getting hungrier when you're eating certain foods, avoid those foods. Like I'm off of certain things cold turkey because I can't have one or two, and that's what works for me.
But Joy, you have to know you are that type of person. Like
exactly.
We can't make generalities for everybody. If you are that kind of person where you know one scoop of ice cream leads to the whole pint, stay away from it.
Yeah, but everybody's addicted to ice cream,
That's
too.
not true.
No, I'm not.
I'm not addicted to
I
ice
can have
cream.
one spoonful.
I can do
can?
without it.
Right.
Well, goody for you.
But if you give me a bag of chips, I can't stop until that bag is gone if it has 48 servings. I
Also,
can't
what do you
stop.
think about this idea that you should snack all day, you know, like every 3 hours? Does that make you want to eat more or less?
Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
In my book, the new book, every 3 hours you're eating something. And the reason we do that is because meal spacing is the new way to lose weight, because if your body knows it's getting some calories about every 3 hours, then you do not overindulge. And even though you may consume the same amount of calories throughout the day, it's the evenness of the calories that keeps your hormone levels even, less weight gain.
And it's fun to eat every 3 hours.
Yeah,
Let's be honest.
Well, it's a lot of effort to keep finding food every 3 hours. You know, what am I, foraging out there? You know what I mean? It's like, I can't.
Fill your pockets. Do what you have to do.
I know, I have a girlfriend, she's always got food in her pocketbook because, you know, she's afraid she'll be trapped somewhere. She always has something to read and something to eat.
Emergency snacks.
Good for
Yeah,
her.
what about, let's
I
talk
agree.
alcohol. What about the dangers of drinking, over-drinking, even though you just had a couple of glasses with dinner? Big deal, right?
It is a big deal because people think that liquid calories are okay. A calorie is a calorie is a calorie, and people overconsume alcohol thinking it's just liquid. No, those are real calories too.
So
Yeah,
how many drinks can you have?
On my program, you can have 1 drink a day.
Oh,
And
so
it
you
depends
can have
on what
a
you're
glass of
drinking,
wine.
too.
A glass of
Yes.
wine.
Yeah. Oh.
What do you prefer for your people?
I mean, I make cocktails. I do whatever. I like to deal with like food swaps and substitutions. So if you want a margarita, instead of a 500-calorie margarita, I'll give you a 100-calorie margarita. I'm all about drinking what you want in moderation and not using high-calorie, sweet, syrupy mixers. Just have
And here's the other
workarounds.
trick I give my people on my plan. I tell them, listen, if you know you're going to go out that night with your friends, then do well earlier in the day and build yourself a reserve so you can dump those calories in later at night.
Yeah, but then they say don't eat late at night. It stays in your body and you get
That's
fat that
wrong.
way.
Come on, Joy. You should not eat 90 minutes before going to bed. If you go to bed at 1 o'clock in the morning, you can eat at 11 o'clock. It's when you go to bed that matters, not the hour of the day.
You agree with
And
that?
don't eat in the middle of the night.
No, really? So that Ambien rating the refrigerator
I don't
does...
believe that. I think that's just, that can't
Listen,
be
my
true.
girlfriend got up in the middle of the night on an Ambien, ate a whole hunk
I
of cheese,
heard a story about that.
drank a tequila, went back to the bed, had sex with her husband. The next morning, remembered nothing.
That could be a good thing or a bad thing.
Thanks to Lisa Lillien, Dr. Ian Smith, and all my guests tonight. See you next time. Good night, everybody.